on TV.
That's true. But Kenny Pickett's starting to look a little more comfortable, but he's not there yet.
No, he's not. He's not. No.
Ooh. Oh, it is something right there. That's all the time
I think you guys mentioned the South Carolina women's team beating Clemson. How about the South Carolina women's team going on the road and beating number 2 Stanford?
But they said they want to play all the ranked teams at your house, and we're gonna walk out with bandages on y'all.
Yeah.
They took down Maryland, then they took down Stanford, and I think they play UConn later.
They play UConn in February at UConn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like it's okay. We can play at your house.
Yeah. It's not even like, we'll play it at Colonial Life. No, we're going to you, and we're still going to beat you.
Yeah, no.
Guys, go ahead and start the music before we lose people.
Play the clock. Oh, you already know what it is, man. Ooh and Jay, they coming through. Straight no chaser. Straight from the hip.
Straight from the hip, don't need no script, just need a microphone. My man Coach Boo gon' take you to the entertainment zone. They got the stats, the this and that to keep this show on point. And when we're done, we have some fun and rock this funky joint. So if you will, sit back and chill, give us a chance to show ya. If one of y'all would like to call, we'll talk just like we know ya. We take control, then start the roll, and then there ain't no stopping. It's time to dip straight from the hip. Hey, yo, let's get it poppin'.
Welcome Straight from the Hip. I'm your host, Coach Gerald Boo Mitchell, coming to you live from the Imperial Palace on Black Mania, home of the people on Earth, the Wakandans. They all came from here, Travis. I know. You don't want to believe it, but this is where they came from. This is where they came from. I don't know about that man with them wings on his feet and all that other stuff, but this is where they came from. Yeah, I talked to her later today. She said, "You know what? I read your take on it," and she said, "Just like you said, them wings on the feet got me too. That was a little too far. A little too far. They didn't need the wings on the feet. That's what they really did because it was in the comic books that way." Anyway, what's going on, Travis?
Not much. Had a good weekend. South Carolina football team pulled off the upset of the week, possibly the upset of the year.
Yeah, no, it ain't no upset of the year. It ain't no upset of the year.
Top five team goes down and loses by almost 30.
Tennessee beating Alabama was by far the upset of the year. Don't even try that bullshit. You know good.
Was it on a last-second field goal? Come on. Man. And then South Carolina women's team goes on the road and beats number 2 Stanford. So, and the Bengals won, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Oh, and the World Cup started. I know we're going to talk about that, but I'm really happy about that.
Well, no, we're also happy about that. Look at her smiling because of the World Cup going on.
Shout out Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm. Or do people in Washington, D.C. even know what soccer is?
Oh, yeah. We got some MLS Cups up here.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Peavy.
United.
Hey, Mr. Peavy. There Mr. Peavy is. True Falcon fan. Falcons going to the playoff, baby. I mean, they won the game.
We'll see y'all in D.C.
That was the luckiest punt return kick return in history.
No, it wasn't. The Patriots one was the luckiest one.
He bounced off of like 18 people. There were 18 missed tackles on that play. And people said they're going to the playoffs, so they just that good. Mr. Peavy, this is to you.
We'll see him in D.C. We'll see him in D.C. this week.
This could be their year, Coach.
Bring them dirty birds out to D.C. this week.
He had 9 kickoff returns, so but I know didn't he break a record or something? Isn't that good? He broke a record. Good for him. Good for him.
He was tied with Devin Hester. Now he's got the lead.
Good for him. They still gonna be ain't gonna make the damn playoff. Watch and see. Watch and see. Peavy, listen, I ain't got time to play with you tonight, Peavy. What's up, Tom? I ain't got time to play with you, Peavy. There he goes again. He just won't stop. Boy, I love these Falcon fans. Boy, I wish Miss Carey was on here. Lord have mercy. Anyway, folks, and I'm glad y'all on here, Miss Peavy, Tom. What's going on with football? I have been forecasting for a very long time that I feel like NFL football is way subpar. These years, we had 12 teams this week that scored less than 21 points. We had several teams that didn't even break double digits. I mean, that's a man law violation if you're in the NFL. If you can't break double digits in 4 quarters, I mean, I can understand if, an earthquake happened or something like that, you weren't able to get all 4 quarters in. But if you can get all 4 quarters in, you can't break double digits. You can't get double digits. Dude, there ought to be fines put in place for that. So what is the problem? And I gave y'all a list of them there to pick from. I mean, is it, bad playing, bad coaching? Is it, the way they're doing these NFL contracts now? I mean, what is it? Travis, you go first.
I'm going to go with number 4 on your list, and I said it, a month or so ago. There's parity in the NFL this year more than ever. You and I had this discussion, Coach, on the show about a month ago, maybe a month and a half, and you talked about how, hey,
oh Lord, have mercy.
I said,
wow.
There's just a lot of parity this year in the NFL, and there's a lot of teams that are evened out because of people getting new contracts and players having to move. There's a lot of parity in the NFL, so that's what I'm going to go with.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Travis. I couldn't think of some more choices to put up there that made sense. So I said, let me put some dumbass choices up here like parity in the NFL. And I put that out there, and there you go. There it is. Herb, what do you think?
I'm right.
Let's give Miss Carey a little time to get herself together before she joins in on this intellectual conversation.
It's easy. The quarterbacks suck.
Wow. Plain and simple.
We have no good quarterbacks in this league. We have no good quarterbacks in this league, and it's making every defense look elite right now, except for Houston.
Wow. Okay. I like that. I like that, Miss Carey.
I mean, I'm new to the conversation, but I think that there's a little bit of truth in both. There's our quarterbacks do suck. Like there used to be a time where we could name, off the cuff, like some pretty elite quarterbacks. And today, I think the league is flooded with less talent at the quarterback position than they are super talented quarterbacks. The Falcons, for one. Well, the entire division, except for really Tom Brady. And at this point, he's on his way down the mountain. But I also can appreciate that it feels like more and more games are competitive, even if it's between two stinky teams.
Yep.
There's not a lot of blowout, which I think still makes for interesting games. Not for you, Coach, because I know that you like only winners, but for the rest of us plebeians, we don't mind.
Yeah, and thank you, Miss Carey, for acknowledging that I sit on a little bit different platform than just your average Joe. Because that being said, it was a trick question I gave to y'all, because instead of the answer being number 5, none of the above, the answer is all of the above, a little bit. Because Is there bad coaching? Of course there is. I mean, there's people who are coaches who shouldn't be coaching, just like Jeff Saturday, like we talked about last week. I mean, how you going to have Jeff Saturday out there? You know, how you going to have, I mean, half these coaches in the league, just like Arizona.
They're undefeated.
Head coach, Cliff Kingsbury. You know, Stephen A goes on a rant every time he sees him about how his ass shouldn't be coaching. I mean, you got a bunch of dumbass coaches out there. Subpar play. There's no doubt, like Irv just said. I mean, you got quarterbacks out there who are terrible, and in this league, you cannot afford to have a terrible quarterback. The structuring of contracts. Dude, they give these guys so much money. Ezekiel Elliott, football is the last thing on his mind right now. That Joe goes out there on the field like he's thinking about what he's going to do when he gets done with this shit. I mean, that's what he looks like when he's out there playing. I mean, that joker looks like he's high as a kite. I mean, he just out there just like, I'm just doing this so I can get my damn money. I mean, bottom line. So the way they're doing contracts is ridiculous. Now, as far as league parity is concerned, I don't really think there's that much parity in the league. But I do believe that it helps to have a little bit more parity in the league because of all the things that I just previously mentioned. So I think it's all of the above, to be honest with you. I think there are a lot of things that are contributing to some of the worst football. I know some football purists like myself who are gagging at what's going on in the league right now. I mean, it's just like, I mean, you can't even stand to watch it. I mean, some of it's just so bad. And like I said, when you look at these scores, some of these scores that we had this week, I mean, oh my God, it's just bad. 13-3, 10-3. Patriots and Jets, 10-3. I mean, who does that? Cowboys and Vikings, 40-3. I mean, who does that? I mean, dude, it's bad. I mean, there are just some bad football games being played out there. Ravens, Panthers, 13-3. I mean, it's awful. It's awful. I've never remembered football being this bad where you have this many low scores in a league that we talk about all the time. And Irv is the one who always talks about it and reminds us of the fact that all of the rules are slanted for the damn offense. And then you have such poor offenses, even though you can't sneeze on a damn quarterback. You know, you can't even get close to a quarterback. Like that mess with Taylor Heineke the other day. The man came in and just fell down on him, didn't put any weight on him, just touched him, and Heineke was starting already celebrating because he knew that was going to be a damn 15-yard penalty because the man just touched him. And that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I think that it's a lot more to it, but I think that it's a bunch of factors combined that have it that way.
I thought it was crafty. I thought it was crafty and smart. He knew the rule.
He knew the rule. There's no doubt. But my point is that even in a league where you have rules like that allow the offense to be able to do what they did, and you still can't score 21 points and you're scoring 3 points in a game, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's just bad.
Well, Washington scored 23 points in the game, so.
I know, but what does that mean?
Well, you're talking about Washington, so I'm just saying they didn't score 3, they scored 23. And you bring up the fact that all those bad games, yeah, there was a few rotten games, but you look at some of the good games, right? 27-24, that's a close game.
Yeah, but it ain't about it being close. It's about it being where they're scoring points. Because like you said, 27-24, they ain't far away from 21. They just barely getting over. Like it's somebody on his score 22. Again, they're barely getting over.
It's still over the line. 30-27.
I mean, Travis, you know well as I do. I mean, when the last time you seen somebody score 50 points?
You don't in the NFL.
I know, but they used to. They used to. Used to have some games where people score like a game would be 56-48 or something like that because, again, it was so heavily weighted toward the offensive people. Like, you know, they were like, okay, you can only have your hands on the wide receiver for the first 5 yards. You know, that was another big impact, this rule change to add more scoring and whatnot. I mean, all of those rules down over the years have led to a whole lot more scoring. And now a whole lot of rules hadn't been changed here lately, not impactful rules, especially that go against the defense. And the scoring is ridiculous.
Coach, but haven't we also been proponents of how the defense is changing and how quick the defense is now compared to what they used to be? So I wouldn't expect that if our defenses are becoming more and more quick, that we would be able to score 56 points and 48 points. Like our defensive players are getting there, and you can tell in the drafts, if it's not a quarterback, then it's all defense. Like we're waiting for the running backs, we're waiting for the wide receivers until later on in the draft. And so I think that.
And Jason agrees with you. That's Jason's opinion. Jason says that, you know, everybody's just drafting defensive players because they're just beefing up their defenses and you know, offenses just aren't as good as they used to be. So, and you know, like I said, I agree with him. He and I had a long talk about it. But, I mean, he's like me. It's just stinky football to watch. You know, like somebody just said, I think somebody said something about some penalties. Tom said there's too many penalties. And he's right. I mean, you know, there's a lot of movement up by the offensive line or illegal shift or illegal motion and all of this stuff going on. And it's just, it's bad. It's bad to watch when you were trying to watch a real football game. You know, like those crazy people over in Mexico the other day. You know, they're the first football game they've ever seen in their lives. And they're over there just like a soccer game, the entire game, losing their mind, screaming and yelling. And I felt sorry for whoever that was who did the halftime show because they booed his ass from the beginning to the end. I mean, they hated that joke. I don't know what he did to those people, but they booed him the entire time.
Did they?
Did you hear that, Travis?
I didn't watch the halftime show.
Okay, yeah, I watched the half. I was watching everything, and they booed his ass the entire time.
Was it an American performer?
No, I couldn't understand a word he said.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, he was in Spanish the whole time. But they lit his ass up. I don't know what he did. I mean, they did too boo him, Miss Peavy. They booed the hell out of that man the entire time. Go watch it. Go watch yourself, Travis. Watch it. Just find it.
So, Coach, I'm doing a little research right here.
Yeah.
Looking at 50-point games.
The other one.
Okay.
50-point game.
So in the last 10 years, there have been 33 teams that have put up 50 points in a game.
In the last how many years?
10 years.
10 years.
So that's three times a year a team puts up 50 points.
Okay, when was the last time it happened?
There was one game earlier this year. Hold on, let me find it. Dallas did it towards the beginning of the year. I lost the date, but there was. Yeah, Dallas did.
That my point is that I can't remember. I didn't even know Dallas did it. It's been a long time since you've seen one of them kind of games. And what the other team made? What the other team scored?
It doesn't tell me the other team score. It just tells me
I got you. Yeah,
the highest ranking.
I got you.
Score thing.
I got you. Mr. and Miss Peavy, they're good friends of Jeff Saturday, and they act like I'm not a friend of his also. Mr. Peavy tell me get off Jeff Saturday, and because that's his buddy, coach's son over there in his last coaching job before he vaulted himself up to the NFL. He was the head coach at Hebron Christian Academy in Decatur, Georgia. So, and their son played for him. So they did too boo that man though, Miss Peavy. We'll find it. We'll find it. Somebody will find it. They were booing his ass the whole time. And the song was terrible. I don't know why you come out on national TV singing a slow drag song at halftime of a football game.
Let me see who it was.
He was terrible. He was terrible. I won't know. You won't know who he is, Miss P, when you see it. Miss Carrie, when you see it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will. I listen to all kinds of Spanish music.
Shit. Okay. I bet you won't know who that is.
Let's see.
I can't wait till you find it.
Grupo
Anyway.
Fermi.
Oh, no, I don't.
GRUPO FIRME.
And find out what he did to somebody's mama or whatever. Because them people did not like him.
Firme means sign in Spanish, so it's like group sign, which is weird.
Mm-hmm. Well, the group sign that he was getting while he was on stage was the finger. I take that much. Anyway, moving right along to the game this week. Another stinker for the Green Bay Packers. Titans 27, Packers 17. Is there any way, Miss Carey or Travis, is there any way that Green Bay can get it going this year and get back on the right foot?
No, next game.
Miss Carey, what'd you think?
I just, I mean, I haven't been impressed by Green Bay in the last couple of years.
Me either.
Aaron Rodgers has been able to pull it out with Devontae Adams. But they've never been impressive to me.
Yeah.
As much as we've expected of him in his MVP seasons. So I would say no. I think that it's caught up to him at this point.
They're done.
Do the Packers try to trade Aaron Rodgers? Travis?
I don't think so. But I think what they try and do is they try and push him out the door to leave by himself. Either retire or go to another team.
What do you think about that, Miss Carey?
Is he signed 2 years, right? At the beginning of the summer?
I thought he did, Miss Carey.
That sounds right. I feel like he does have one more year left on his contract.
I think he's an ego issue, so I cannot see him playing another year unless they stack the box, unless they stack the team.
Yeah.
They don't have the money to do it.
Well, I can tell you this. They ain't going nowhere. They ain't going to force him out. Dude, you want to know, they would tear up that damn stadium if they tried to get him out of there.
They did to Brett Favre.
Okay. Okay.
That's because they had Aaron Rodgers behind him, though.
Well, Brett Favre was more beloved than Aaron Rodgers was.
Yeah, but Brett, I don't know about that. Brett Favre wasn't nowhere near as good as Aaron Rodgers is.
Brett Favre won 2 Super Bowls and Aaron Rodgers has 1. So
I hear you. But I mean, yeah, and Eli Manning has a Super Bowl too, but he didn't do shit to earn it.
I understand, but you're talking about fans. Fans are going to go, Favre got us 2 and Aaron Rodgers only got us 1.
Yeah. But no, I disagree. I disagree with that sentiment, Travis. A lot of these places where football is really football, they have an educated fandom. And I think that I would be willing to say that Green Bay is probably a very smart fandom that they have there.
I agree with you, but let's also remember Aaron Rodgers is a little different, right? His personal life seems to be a little different than every other player. And now that he's having a bad year, how well is that going to play with, the fans of Green Bay, right? Midwest town, they probably don't want to put up with some of his, BS.
Yeah.
So let's get him out again and see what Jordan Love's got. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have much left. Let's see what, we can be in rebuild mode and just go from there.
Yeah. I don't think that you pay a man $50 million a year or whatever the hell they're paying him, some ungodly amount of money, and then force him out or cut him or whatever, and I don't see that happening. I think they'll try to do or undo some of the things that they did. They were joking the other day about trying to get Devontae Adams back. which we all know that probably is not going to happen. But nonetheless, I think that they would do that before they would do some of the other things that you're talking about. Bears 24, Falcons 27. I mean, the Falcons stomped the Bears by a whole 3 points, sir. Do you see that? They stomped 27-24. I'm sure Miss Carey was in the building. Were you in the building, Miss Carey?
I was.
Which suite were you in?
I wasn't in the suite. I sit in section 114.
Uh-huh. They said them Falcons games, there ain't nobody in their seat watching the game. They're in the V103 suite, or they in the State Farm suite, or they in somebody's suite.
Yeah, they are.
They got they set up Guinness World Record the other day. They got like 17,000 DJs in there during the game. I mean,
are we going to talk about football, or are we talking about football? I wasn't sure.
Is that what they do? I'm talking about football in Atlanta. That's what we
Terrible.
That's what we talk about. I mean, after the kickoff, everybody heads to a suite. Miss Carol, when you were there, go on talk about the game. Talk about your what's the name? Ran touchdown. Miss Peavy already talked about it.
Yeah, Cordarrelle Patterson.
Yeah.
I'm just, I know that our quarterback sucks, and he can't get our offensive weapons the ball, and that's cool. But our defense has been better and better every game. So when we get it together, we'll get it together. It was a good win. It's better than a loss, and that place was packed.
I love it
with Bears fans.
Miss Carey, you are my girl.
Yes, I am. I know I'm your typical Falcons fan. I know. It's okay. I'll wear that badge. It's all good.
Good for you.
I mean, you said it all. Well, I know, but it's better than loss.
Hey, a win is a win, right?
Beautiful. That is beautiful. And then Mr. Beef, when Mr. Beef say, Travis, put that comment back up there. That's all that matters right there.
We're a party town.
We're a party town, man.
them Lou Williams wings.
Yep.
Lemon pepper blue.
Oh my God. It doesn't matter that the quarterback threw him ball.
It does matter. I said we sucked.
That bounced off of 3 players on the other team, and then our receiver caught it with his pinky toe. As long as we won, it don't matter.
Well, I'll say this. Hey, they won. That's all that matters at the end of the day. But losing Kyle Pitts, like it sounds like they may lose him for the rest of the season, is going to be real tough.
About that, what happened to Kyle Pitts?
MCL.
And they're saying he tore his MCL.
Yeah, wow.
It hasn't been confirmed. It hasn't been confirmed yet. They wanted to get a second opinion, but it looks like he tore his MCL.
Wow.
What I'm trying to figure out is when they're gonna bench Mariota. Like, what's the point?
Who they got behind him?
Nobody. I mean, they got who they drafted, Desmond Ridder. But if we don't know, if we play Mariota the whole rest of the season, we'll never see Desmond Ridder. And then what do we go into the draft with? Knowing what? Because this guy was supposed to be a bridge.
I agree with you, Miss Carey, but now the problem has become, because you guys have won more games than what most people thought, you guys are technically in the playoff hunt. You can't bench Mariota because he's still technically winning games, right? Like, why would you bench a quarterback that's winning for a rookie who's never played in the NFL?
Can I answer the question? Oh, go ahead, Ms. Carey. I'll let you answer.
Because he's not supposed to stay with us. I mean, you got to see we're losing. We're not going to win a Super Bowl this year.
Thank you.
So as long as you know that, like, why not? Just sit him down. He
you know good and damn well he ain't going to win no damn Super Bowl. That's why you do it.
I understand that.
Because it's all looking into the future.
I get that. But if you're an NFL team, you got to think you can win, right? Like, you got to have confidence in your team that you're going to win.
No.
Did you see the game against North Carolina when he threw a pass from his back?
Let me ask you this, Travis. Let me ask you this. If you're the Cincinnati Bengals and whatnot, you just said if you're an NFL team, you gotta think you can win. What are they thinking down in Jacksonville right now? Are they thinking they gonna win? Herb, that's your third team. Are they thinking they're gonna win in Jacksonville? I mean, I don't know where you get this stuff from, Travis. Some of these teams know good and damn well they ain't gonna win.
So then why do they play the game? If they know they're gonna lose, why are they playing?
Do what now?
If they know they're gonna lose the game, why are they going out there to play the game?
Look at this right here. You see that right there? What's that right there? What's my hand doing?
Money.
Cheddar. They know they still got to play if they want to get paid. The owner knows he got to pay if he want to get his. But
you don't think there's competitive? You don't think there's competitive people on every team that wants to win?
I
want to win every game.
Some of those people are so competitive. They say we know good and damn well we ain't going nowhere with this team this year. So the bottom line is, like Miss Carey is saying, go ahead and bench that guy. Let's check out this other cat. If he ain't no good, get rid of his ass and get a real quarterback in here next year so we can start winning some damn and make a serious run for the title.
I understand that. And I'm not disagreeing with the fact that you shouldn't play Ritter. I start, when we started week 1 of the season, I said, I think you guys should play Ritter. Right? Because I think you guys should have seen what you guys had with him. But at this point in the season, you've ridden with Mariota. You've won more games than anyone predicted you guys to win already this year, and you guys still have 7-8 games. 6, 7, 8 games left.
Who cares about all that? Who cares if we won more games than anybody predicted?
You guys are in the playoffs.
The bottom line is if
you stop now, you're completely taking away any possibility that you're going to make the playoffs. Can we tell your fan base?
Can we win it all? Can we win it all? That's all I want to know. If we can't with this cat, put the other dude in there. That's it. Make a bold decision. God damn. The Colts hired Jeff Saturday. Damn it. Make a bold decision. I mean, how could you be any more crazy if you bench Mariota now? Because he ain't done shit. I mean, you act like Marcus Mariota going to win the damn comeback player of the year award because he led the Falcons to win more games than everybody thought they were going to win. His ass ain't even being mentioned. He's terrible.
Again.
Yeah, Travis, my point is, I think I agree with you. I understand that they're 5-7, and people are saying, you're going to make the playoffs. You're likely going to make the playoffs given the rest of the schedule. But my point is, I would rather not make the playoffs and know what we're going into for the draft than to make the playoffs with Mariota, who we know can't do anything for us for the next year. Like, he is not playing well, and Ritter can't play any worse. Ritter's got the same skill set that he has. He's a runner. He's supposed to be able to sling the ball at least. We're wasting right now. Kyle Pitts got hurt on. I mean, he's received. I think he played. I don't want to talk knowledge that I don't have. So he is not playing what he was playing last year because he can't get the ball. They can't get him the ball, and he's not because Mariota can't throw it. He thinks he's a running back.
Cody Wilson says, to an extent, Travis, he agrees. But does anyone expect Mariota to win them a Super Bowl? Hell no.
But does anyone expect Ritter to win them a Super Bowl? So the answer to that is no.
Right, but I agree with you. So that's why not do it then? Why not put him in there? You making a case for us.
No, I'm not. I'm making a case to keep Mariota because at least you're winning with this guy. If you go to Ritter and you lose every game, you've just wasted the entire season.
Okay,
when right now you have a chance to make the playoffs.
Okay, so if you make Ritter,
you're not happy if you make the playoffs, you're still not going to be happy.
I'd be happier knowing what our future is. That's part of it.
Hey, me and Miss Carey took the words out of my mouth.
So it's just like getting rid of Matt Ryan. Like,
you're gonna ruin the first half of next year, Travis, because you're gonna put Ritter in there, and he's gonna be a milk dud too. And now that's 2 seasons gone. Because you knew good and damn well you weren't gonna win with Mariota. And now you done wasted a whole half a season trying out this egghead, and he don't make it. So now that's 2 seasons in a row.
I don't think if the Falcons can make the playoffs this year, even if they sneak into a wild card, that's not a wasted season for Atlanta.
Oh, for Atlanta.
For Atlanta, that's not a wasted season. Miss Carey, if I would have told you at the beginning of the year, week 1, Atlanta is going to make the playoffs. That's all I tell you. All I tell you is Atlanta's going to make the playoffs. Would you say yes or no?
Right here, Miss Carey.
Or will I take that?
That's what Travis doing right now. Travis doing this to you, Miss Carey.
I said
he's
no.
slapping the face of every Atlanta. He said, for Atlanta, that's good.
Right. Here's the point, though. For me, like we went into the season thinking the analysts said we were going to win 2 games, right?
Yep.
Vegas had you like 3.5.
But for me, I was excited because we were not going to have to watch Matt Ryan.
Right.
At least it was a different quarterback. We were going to be able to see something new, maybe see what the future was going to bring us in Ritter. But to now know this, even if part of the reason we're going to make the playoffs is because everybody else sucks. It's not because we've done well. It's because everybody else sucks. Yeah. And so from my perspective, I would love to see, that's great. We outperformed what was expected. Now, let's see what Desmond Ritter's got. Desmond Ritter can still win games. What if he gets in there and he wins out and we make the playoffs with Desmond Ritter?
I understand that.
But you won't know till next year with Travis. You ain't going to know that till next year.
I think he's afraid to sit Mariota because that's what he did in Tennessee. He doesn't want to hurt Mariota's feelings again.
No, I think Ritter's not ready. You don't think if Ritter was ready, you guys would play Ritter? I don't think Ritter's ready.
He can't get first-team reps.
I think they wanted to have Ritter. I think they wanted Ritter to be the starter, and that's why they waited so long to announce the starting quarterback, and Ritter wasn't ready, and he's not ready.
If he's not ready,
Ritter.
If he's not ready, that's on your damn head coach. His ass needs to be fired because he should be ready. What the hell you mean if Ritter's not ready? What the hell does that mean? That means somebody ain't doing their damn job if he's the supposed to be the future franchise quarterback and his ass ain't ready? Are you kidding me?
Let me ask you a question, though. Is he supposed to be the future franchise quarterback? Because
you tell me.
Not at all.
We don't know. We don't know because his ass ain't playing. That's why we're trying to get him in there.
He's a third or fourth round draft pick. So
that's why we're trying to get him in there to see whether or not his ass can play. And if not, get his ass out of there and get somebody else. You probably shouldn't have drafted him in the first damn place.
Well, you did.
Exactly. So you draft him thinking that he can't play? What the hell you draft him for? If you didn't draft him to be your damn franchise quarterback, what the hell did you draft him for, Travis?
I didn't draft him.
They had to fill up some roster spots, man. You know how it goes.
Yeah, right. With the damn quarterback?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Chase Daniel's still in the league.
Exactly. That's my point. It's a lot of they could have went and got damn Phillip Rivers or somebody. Or damn Ben Roethlisberger. Shit. They could have got anybody to do that shit. To sit there and be a damn backup quarterback and not be ready to play. I mean, shit, they could have gotten me to do that. They could have gotten anybody.
I'd rather pay somebody 6 figures than 8 figures.
Exactly.
Which is why you get Ritter, because you can pay him 6 figures and not 8.
Man, please. You think Phillip Rivers is going to demand? Man, please. All them old war horses. There's a bunch of them jokers in the league right now that you just don't know about. And then all of a sudden you find out that Joe Flacco's still like, Joe Flacco? What? Where'd he come from? I thought Joe Flacco died.
And he get paid. He's highest paid QB on the Jets right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. There you go.
That's exactly my point.
No, Coach, you're not making a point.
I'm making a big point.
If you're overpaying for a quarterback, how does that help you? Why not draft a younger quarterback?
Because the bottom line is that you try him out now so that you don't have to sacrifice another season.
Yeah,
that's why.
So Travis, you finish your thought out. Okay, so we don't play Ritter. We get to the playoffs. We lose in the first round. And now what?
That's great for the Falcons, though. That's
now what? Okay, we made the playoffs. We're all celebrating that. But now what? What's the next steps?
You go into the season. One, you got to figure out what Marcus's contract is. Okay? I don't know if he's on a 1 or 2 year contract. I don't know that. 2 year contract. So he's still got 1 more year, correct? Okay. So go into the season having Marcus Mariota as your quarterback because he just led you to the playoffs. Again, you guys are acting like you guys took Desmond Ridder in the first round. He's a third-round draft pick. People get cut all the time.
But we're not winning because of him. We're winning despite him. Despite the shit that he's doing, like we're winning.
Thank you. But Miss Carey, listen to me. You're missing the point. And this is where Travis is slapping the Atlanta fans in the face.
I get it for Atlanta.
For your franchise, you made the playoffs. Be happy. Y'all should be happy with that. That's good for Atlanta. You made the playoffs.
My point is that there's growth being made in Atlanta.
Yeah, I agree with that. But then you go in.
That's my point when I say Atlanta made the playoffs. There's growth happening.
But then you would go into the season with him as your starting quarterback again? Because he made the playoffs? I mean,
there's growth being made in Atlanta, and it's not just the fungus in Magic City.
Yeah, it sounds like Matt Ryan. I mean, it sounds like really Matt Ryan. I mean, we kept keeping him around, and he did not need to be. He went to Indiana, got sat down real quick. I know they brought him back.
I understand that.
But I don't think Mariota believes that he is a starting quarterback.
In Indianapolis, they said, "Oh hell no,
not here."
we ain't gonna see if we can make the playoffs with Matt Ryan.
At the beginning of the season, everybody would say, "Oh, we got the better quarterback. We got rid of Carson Wentz. This man ain't last half the season."
That's true.
At least Wentz played the whole season.
That's true.
I was in the gym.
And I bet we can't even name the backup quarterback for the Colts right now. He played.
I'm trying to tell you.
Sam Ehlinger.
Yeah. You looked it up. See, that's what I'm talking about.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. He probably didn't. He probably know.
He probably went to South Carolina.
Wait a minute. Mr. Peavy figured out the solution. Mr. Peavy said they need to bring in Cam Newton.
And to answer your question earlier, Joe Flacco is making $1.5 million right now.
That's too much.
Yeah, it is. I agree. It is too much. It's way too much. But that's the market for a quarterback. But that's my whole point. That's why, to me, it'd be more important to go ahead and get this milk dud and give him a shot and see whether or not he's going to do it. And if not, I cut both of them jokers and try to get me somebody ready for next year.
Yeah, I was in the gym with Mariota the day after the Panthers game, and his wallet wasn't any lighter. So he was still stepping happy, smiling. I said, sorry about your loss. He was like, yes, sometimes you win, sometimes you. I said, not everybody, but okay.
Yeah. What was that on my list though? Contracts. The way they're structuring these contracts these days, dude, you just got to be in the position. That's all. All you gotta do is just be in the same position as somebody else. And that joker done set a new precedent that your agent can go in there and say, hey, this is where it is now. This is where it is for quarterbacks. This is where it is for backup quarterbacks. Atlanta just signed a backup quarterback for $13 million a year. That's the new thing right there, boy. Backup quarterbacks. We had $13 million now. That's what we do. And everybody jumps on board. Everybody said, well, hey, that dumbass did it over there. We got to do it now. That's the market. That's the market now. Lord have mercy. Moving right along. I appreciate that. That was some good talk though right there. Speaking of the Colts, Eagles 17, Colts 16. Now in Travis's world, we're gonna give the Colts a little hoorah for that because they only lost by 1 point to supposedly the best team in the league, everybody says. And they only lost by 1 point. So let's give a little round of applause to Indianapolis for keeping it close. And because their fans were expecting they were going to get run out the building. I mean, you got a high school coach. You got an old beat-up-ass quarterback, Matt Ryan on the sideline, and you still were able to just lose by 1 point. Is that how it works, Travis?
They blew that game.
The coach should have won?
Yes.
Yeah, they should have, actually.
That game was going to put Matt Ryan in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I bet it is. Somebody Pro Bowl. I didn't get to see the game, to be honest with you. I was shocked when I saw the score. And that was miserable. Here's another miserable game. Jets 3, Patriots 10. Thank God. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. There are just some days you wake up and you realize that the God you know and love is just like with you all the time. The fact that he didn't direct me to watch this game, I mean, I am so thankful to God on high that I did not see one smidgen of this game and haven't seen any highlights. Doesn't sound like there were any highlights to show.
I was just about to say
10-3. Good God help us all.
One play to show.
That last one.
the last play.
Yeah. Commanders 23, Texans 10. Herb, that's one of your teams. I mean, you kind of don't want to say anything about it.
Hey, listen. The NFC East look like the NFC East about to take over the playoffs right now.
You're right about that now. NFC East is they're kind of making a run right now. I'll give you that. I will say, talking about the Texans, Deshaun's on his way back. Deshaun is practicing again. I want to see
Cleveland Browns.
I know that, but he used to be with the Texans, and that's who he's going to be playing against his first game back.
Okay.
I mean, come on, Travis. Stay with us, Travis. Stay with us. Rams 20, Saints 27. Dude, I don't even know what happened to the Rams. I mean, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this with the Rams? Anybody? Somebody tell me what's going on.
Injuries.
Who all's injured?
Cup is out.
Cooper Cup's out. Stafford's out.
They on their fifth running back.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So is Cam Akers just trying to just get out of there? I thought Cam Akers would be traded. I thought he wasn't going to make the trade deadline, I'll be honest with you. Because they were already talking about how disgruntled and everything else he was. I'm a Saints fan, obviously, because Bradley Roby plays for them. But, I mean, I don't think the Saints are going to do anything either, to be honest with you. I mean, I think the NFC South is probably going to be Brady, beat the Buccaneers, but we'll talk about them in a few minutes. Browns, 23. Bills, 31. Have you heard about the lonesome loser? I mean, they love it, though. Everybody, you can go to Cleveland right now, be a total stranger, go to a bar, sit down. I mean, somebody going to buy you a drink. I mean, they just love it. They love it. They ain't mad. They ain't mad at all. Panthers, 3.
I think that game should have been played in Buffalo, by the way.
Ravens, 13. Huh?
Yeah, if they want to play in an open stadium, they got to play in that snow.
They should have played that game in Buffalo.
Why?
They want to have an open dome stadium and play in some 6 feet of snow.
It's true.
They did it a few years ago.
I know, but I mean, the bottom line is that, the people in Buffalo and people in Green Bay and people in those places love that shit. I mean, the stadium normally packed when they had those games
packed.
like that.
It still would have been packed if they would have played that game in Buffalo.
With a bunch of crazy folk with no shirts on.
Yep.
Facts. Jumping through tables.
Yeah.
And their new stadium's not covered either, so
It's ridiculous.
they see it as an advantage.
Guys, I keep on trying to tell y'all, when the ballot comes out for the next commissioner, y'all need to vote me. You ain't got a stadium, you ain't got no team. I'm done. If you ain't got a dome on your stadium, you ain't got a team. Because I'm doing it for y'all. I'm doing it for the fans. You paid $350 for a ticket. How you going to be sitting out there in the damn snow and ass wet sitting on the seat?
Hey, no one tells you got to buy that $350 ticket. That's all on you.
Yeah, but that's how much tickets cost.
Then you go buy another $350 ticket, plane ticket to go to Detroit.
That's what I'm saying. Man, you crazy. You want to tell me that fans deserve that? They deserve to be in comfort if they pay that kind of money to come see a doggone game. And it's snowing out there, and people run around with their hands in their pants and these jokes that run 4.3 are running a damn 9.340. Man, nobody want to see that shit.
That's football, baby.
Yeah.
No, that's stupidity, baby. Lions 31, Giants 18. Travis, weren't you a big Giant fan there for about 2 weeks?
Yeah. And I would not say I was a fan. I was a supporter.
Yes. Say it again, Travis.
I was a supporter.
Yes.
I said point blank, them Giants weren't going no damn well with that.
I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I'm just telling you guys.
Yeah, they might.
You were talking about Saquon Barkley and the way he was running that ball.
They had a bad game.
Okay.
Flat out.
Okay.
I've seen the Giants' schedule for the rest of the season. It's a wrap.
What that? It's a wrap which way?
They still got to play Philly twice.
Okay, yeah, they done. Okay,
they got to play
no more.
You got to play Washington twice.
Yeah.
They got to play I think they got to play the Vikings.
And the Colts.
Yeah.
And the Colts is the easiest game.
In their war room right now, they're trying to figure out how they can tank. They having tank meetings in their war room because that's what they need to do.
They need to 10 to get to the playoffs.
Raiders 22, Broncos 16. And listen, I think the only question we need to ask is, what the hell happened to damn Russell Wilson? I mean,
Daniel Hackett.
There was so much talk about Russell Wilson moving over there and how good they were going to be, and they had a defense already, and yada, 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 yada. I mean, come on now. Come on.
That's what they said about Matt Ryan in Indianapolis, too.
Yeah.
Dude, that's terrible. I mean, ain't nothing really to talk about. I mean, that's awful. Cowboys 40.
But Sierra's pregnant.
Cowboys 40.
Good for her.
She ain't happy.
Richard Hood's Vikings 3. And I mean to tell you, Richard Hood called me and said, hey, my Vikings, they get ready to take on the Cowboys here. Today's going to make you a believer. Today's going to make you a believer. And they sure did. It made me a believer that I've been right all along.
Yeah.
I said, time they play somebody worth playing, go get that ass toe up, which is exactly what happened. Bengals 37, Steelers 30. I thank God again that I did not have to watch that game.
That was a good game.
That was a good game. What are you talking about?
That division is it's just so lackluster. I mean, everything in Cincinnati or
someone that actually did watch the game. It was very entertaining, and
it was.
They still go.
Did you mute him?
The Bengals had a very nice game. Our secondary running back, who came on for Joe Mixon, had 3 touchdowns, which was absolutely fantastic. Let alone the fact that T. Higgins had over 150 yards receiving and no Jamar Chase, and we still beat them.
It looks like they're playing in Transylvania. I mean, it's just terrible.
Oh,
it's terrible.
You're right, Coach.
It's awful.
That was so right. That was so right. It was a good game, though, Travis.
Just awful. I mean, it's terrible. Terrible.
That's funny.
Chiefs 30, Chargers 27. Now, that was a game. I like watching that game. That was a game to watch right there. That was a game. Not only, I mean, it was good. It was on Sunday night. And that was a game. That was a game right there to watch. That was good. That was fun. Because, you get to see some real offense, some real good stuff. There's only one Andy Reid.
The Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers put up more points than the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chargers.
I understand that. But the way they put up points is just mundane. It's just y'all in that, and y'all like it. Y'all like it. I know they call that the Slobberknocker division or whatever y'all call it, the bully beat up each other division. Whatever. I know. We know. Yeah.
Joe Burrow had more passing yards than both Herbert and Mahomes. Higgins had more receiving yards than any wide receiver or tight end in the Kansas City and the Chargers game. What are we talking about?
It's that old ugly division. Just division. That's what it is. Just
you got some true bias.
Yeah. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that, Miss Carey. And last but not least, my 49ers. 38 to 10.
Talk about an ugly game.
But you know what? I ain't happy. We still got Jimmy G. and he ain't gonna win no damn Super Bowl. Tell you that right now.
Jimmy
I
G
ain't
don't
happy.
do.
I ain't happy at all.
He don't do nothing but win.
I am not happy. I sat there and watched the whole game. And see, I'm watching the bad throws, and all Travis wants to say is, oh, well, his stats are that he did this and he did that and he did this and he did that. Yeah, his stats are that way because George Kittle catching balls behind his back, running down the field 70 yards, and guess what? Garoppolo, everybody like, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo threw a dart, a 75-yard dart to George Kittle. Bullshit. I watched the game. He threw a damn 5-yard fumble that George Kittle caught and then took off running with it for damn 70 yards. That's how Jimmy G gets his yard. That's why I don't want to hear about no stats, Travis, because I know about stats. Stats don't tell you shit. Don't tell you a damn thing. So,
Jimmy G gives the ball to the open guy and scores.
What's the problem?
No matter if he got to run 50 yards, if he got to run 3 yards.
I know. Yep.
Tom Brady throws it to the open wide receiver.
And Tom Brady ain't having a great year either. But you know what? He admits that. And the bottom line is that it's easy to see that he's not from anybody who knows anything about football. You can't just go grab somebody's stat line and start talking about how they had such a magnificent game when you didn't see the game to see how they actually scored the points. I saw how they scored the points the other day.
So
I saw how Jimmy G on a lot of them third down passes was missing Deebo Samuels on a damn 10-yard route. Couldn't get the ball to him 10 yards away from him with no pass rush. And I mean, you can see Deebo Samuels and some of them receivers like, damn, can you please throw? I mean, there's 10 yards.
He was 20 for 29 yesterday.
There you go.
Okay, there we go on more of them stats.
I hear what you're. I mean,
How many of them 20 Travis were wide receiver screens? Did they put that up there?
I don't see that.
Yeah, I know you don't. Exactly. Because San Francisco is a big time wide receiver screen team.
So basically, you say got the right.
So you gonna count him where he's throwing the ball to it ain't even down the field, sideways. He throwing the ball sideways 5 yards.
He got the ball to his playmakers. Exactly.
Yeah, I know. He didn't get the ball to his playmakers. His coach did. His coach got the ball to the playmakers.
Trey Lance.
What he did is he motioned and did this and did that and did whatever and told Jimmy, throw it to him. You ain't got to think about it. Just this is a hemi route. There's only one person for you to throw it to. Throw it to him. You ain't have to make a read. Just turn and throw it to that guy. And that's what he does most of the time. He does hemi routes where you can't mess him up because it's designed to go to one guy. One guy. Miss Carey, look at you.
And Trey Lance couldn't do it. So what's your point?
Yeah, Trey Lance couldn't get the ball to one guy. Yeah.
I feel like you can hear as I'm listening to everybody speak. You can when you look at players like Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins, Marcus Mariota, and then you compare them to like a Allen or a Mahomes. You can it's like the tone of the game. Like they're not the poorer quarterbacks are not managing the tone of the game. And so in those instances, the teams are even when they win, they're winning despite that quarterback's play. Mm-hmm. And you can put anybody in that quarterback position and they would have won that game. When you look at I think Joe Burrow, I think Patrick Mahomes, and I think Allen, when you look at those games, like they're being managed and like strong-armed by the quarterback. Like they're keeping they're winning. They're winning because those quarterbacks are taking them there. And I think that's the difference with Jimmy G. When you're just waiting for him to make the mistake, that's going to cost you the freaking game.
Yep.
I got Stephon Diggs on line one that would disagree with that. When he was acting. He had big beef with Josh Allen the other day.
Oh yeah.
Josh had a bad day. He had a bad outing. As a matter of fact, I say the last 2 games he's had 2 bad outings. The last 2 games he's played, he's been. I don't know where his head is. It ain't where it needs to be, and that's pretty.
I think his elbow's not as good as what they're saying it is.
That could very possibly be too. He's probably playing with pain.
In the words of Red Fox, his head is in his ass.
But I think it's important that Buffalo's getting their running game going. When Josh Allen is on point, they don't run.
Right. You're right. I agree. That's a good point too. I agree. They talked last night how well Jimmy G been doing. That's what Miss Peavy said.
She said what?
He said they talked about him last night about how well Jimmy G has been doing. But that's because the league and the guys who talk on the radio, all they talk about is stats. And nobody ever drills into those stats to say, you know what? He threw for, 400 yards, but his longest pass was only 7 yards. I mean, all the other was rack and yak. Run after catch, yards after catch. That it was so much rack and yak. But his actual pass was only nobody drills into those numbers. They sound like Travis sounds like the agent of one of these guys. All he gonna do is go in there and tell the team, "Hey, my quarterback been throwing for 500 yards and this and that and yada yada yada." He needs to have a something on a masseuse on the sideline to massage his arm for all these yards he's throwing. Shit, he threw maybe 30 yards of that actually in the air, and the rest of it, people running.
I need a bowl of M&Ms, all green.
Exactly. So, anyway, it's 9:03. It's time for us to get on up out of here. Well, Carrie, I am so happy that you showed up today.
Real quick, Coach, Georgia high school football, we're in the quarterfinals.
We are.
We had a major upset.
We did.
This past Friday.
We did.
Number 1 team in Georgia in 7A, nationally ranked in the top 10, lost.
Yeah. Who is it?
Buford
lost to Walton.
Oh.
To Walton.
Yeah. Okay. This is what's historic about that. Buford, this is their first year playing 7A football. So for years, people have always been saying, why doesn't Buford play 7A? Why doesn't Buford play 7A? Well, they finally got them to play 7A. And they were ranked number 1. They've been beating the snot out of everybody. And they went up against the Walton team, who I didn't know that they would lose, but I said, they better be on alert because Walton is a very well-coached team. Well, this well-coached team decided every time we kick the ball, we're going to do an onside kick because we don't give a shit. Because if we're supposed to lose, then we'll just lose. But we're going to onside kick it. And they got most of the onside kicks that they did. Wow. And I mean, just a coaching staff like that and they did a lot of other innovative stuff, I understand and whatnot, because they're a well-coached team. And they wound up beating them by 7 points. So
and they were up by 14 with about 2 or 3 minutes left.
Yeah, they were. And then with 1 minute to go, Buford scored again and closed it to 7. And then Buford tried an onside kick, didn't get it. And then, they took knees and were done. So, but like I said, it's kind of turned the whole state championship thing up on its ear because everybody's kind of penciling Buford in. And like we would have had to play them next if things had worked out the way that they were going to work out. As it works out now, we've got to go play Colquitt County, down in Colquitt County, which is a tough assignment for us. And if we win, we might have to play the team that beat Buford, which is Walton, which we played many times before. And they got a very tough game too against Carrollton that they have to be in. So it's a doozy. And then Mill Creek is playing Lakeside, I think.
Westlake.
I'm sorry, Westlake, not Lakeside, Westlake. Mill Creek is playing Westlake. And then there's one other game I can't remember. Oh, Grayson.
Grayson and Milton.
So those are the 8 teams that are left. So we're happy to be one of the 8 teams that's still playing. Ms. Peter said, Coach, I know, but you always say don't blame the refs. Oh, I agree. And Ms. Peter saying there were a lot of no calls which would have benefited Buford. I'm not blaming the refs on anything. I don't blame the refs because a lot of times refs do impact the game in some manner or whatnot. But at the end of the day, don't get mad at a referee because he missed a call at the end of the game on the last play of the game that could have won it for your team. When your team got 8 fumbles and 20 penalties and 6 drop passes, dude, don't be trying to tell me about no referee costing you the game.
Don't put it in their hands.
People don't look back at all that time that you had, all that other stuff you did that malfunctioned, and now you're going to bring it all your anger to a referee on the last play of the game. When you've been playing like donkey poo-poo for the whole game, and now all of a sudden you're going to blame it on this referee because the replay showed that the foot was out of bounds. Nobody give a damn about that. What about all that other stuff? I mean, just like y'all were messing up and making mistakes, guess what? He made a mistake on the last play of the game. What about them 29 mistakes your team made, while the game was going on? So that's what bothers me about people always want to blame shit on referees. And I say it all the time, and I say it now. Very, very seldom does a referee cost a team a game. Very seldom. Unless you just got somebody out there just chronic, where they just like every time the ball is snapped, they penalizing you or something like that. I don't believe that. So anyway, so we are getting excited. It's a football tradition in Georgia that if you're in the Elite 8 like we are right now, it's always during Thanksgiving break. So we have to practice on Thanksgiving. And that is like a statewide tradition. So you can't just practice Wednesday and then I was going to drive to Valdosta. I am going to drive to Valdosta, but I got to wait until after we practice on Thursday to drive to Valdosta. So it's kind of cuckoo, I know. Ms. Preeves said when Buford would get momentum, they would call some sort of penalty on them, but it came down to coaching. I think they got out coached as well. They did. They definitely got out coached. I mean, if you ask Brian Appling, their head coach, I bet he would tell you that. I hadn't talked to Coach App yet, but I will. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit before I stick my toe in the water and go talk to him about it. But it's interesting right now. It's a fun time. I think Mill Creek is gonna win on that side, and right now it's kind of up in the air who's gonna win on this side. We're on the other side of the bracket. So if we were to make it all the way, we'd be playing Mill Creek, I believe. Now, Lakeside has a good – not Lakeside. What you say it is, Travis?
Westlake.
Westlake has a good football team. And I talked to Coach Lovelady earlier tonight when I went to FBU football practice, and he's concerned about the game. He said Westlake has a kid that looks like he's 6'8", about 400 pounds. And he said he is just one of the biggest human beings he's ever seen. Looking at him on film, he said he's so big. I mean, it takes 2 people to see around this kid. I mean, he is just huge.
Girl.
Huh?
Meets.
So,
Who's that?
I don't know. I think Travis was looking at something. Anyway, we got to get out here. Good night, Miss Peavy. And we appreciate you, Tom. We appreciate the Peavy family, Mr. Peavy. I guess we appreciate Mr. Peavy. He's such a falcon. Miss Carey, we're going to have a get together so you can meet Mr. Peavy. Y'all will get along fabulously.
Let's do it.
He is a big-time Falcon fan. And like he said, it's the party city. Party city.
We'll do it when we make the playoffs.
That's right. When you make the playoff, everybody's happy. And then Travis will be laughing at y'all because y'all know a good damn well you're going to get mollywopped in the first round.
Just
But you know who will be the quarterback? Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like this weekend.
Wait, what?
See you in Washington.
Irvin saying y'all
Okay.
get mollywopped.
Okay.
Miss Carey, go on and fly in the Chocolate City and see your team and show Irvin your team gonna win against the Commanders.
Don't waste your time coming to this ragged ass stadium.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
saying that. I'm about to say I've heard that now.
Been there, done it.
All right, folks, let's get out of here. Good night, Miss Francis. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Oh, you too. You too. Happy Thanksgiving. Go
Thanksgiving.
Hawks.
We'll see y'all next week.